This young man has landed himself in a debt that he cannot pay off, but as he gambles to try and erase it, he ends up in a world of slavery, with nothing but his life left to bet on the next game. In a prestigious skyscraper, an old man who is the chairman of a financial corporation named Tai is addressing his agents. He asks them what is the true definition of power in this world, and they give several answers, none of which impress him. A woman named Rinko says that real power in this world is money. The old man says that power is not in money, but what you do with it. A man named Tonagawa says that they should build an underground empire with the money, and the old man is pleased. He says that a king must build a kingdom. Tonagawa says that they won't have a problem finding workers to build his kingdom, because in this world, there is no shortage of gullible men looking for a glimmer of hope. Next, a poor young man named Kaiji is scratching a lottery ticket, hoping to win a prize of 10,000 yen, but he comes up short and gets frustrated. He works his shift as a cashier at a grocery store and walks home in despair. On the way, he sees a rich man walking with his girlfriend and gets jealous. The rich man calls him a creep for staring at his girlfriend's chest. Kaiji is appalled. He doesn't deny it, though. The man almost runs him over with his fancy car, and Kaiji is enraged. He starts rambling about his hate for the rich and kicking every nice car he sees on the way to his apartment. Eventually, he dents one car, but a couple of men come out of it and chase him down. Rinko emerges from the car and says that she wants to talk to Kaiji. It is revealed that she is a loan shark, and a friend of Kaiji took a loan from her, naming Kaiji as his guarantor. Kaiji only vaguely remembers signing that contract. Now the friend has disappeared, and being the guarantor, Kaiji has to pay the loan back. The amount is 1,000,000 yen, and Kaiji says that there is no way he can afford that. He tries to explain his situation to her, but she does not care. She tells Kaiji that if he can't afford to pay the money, there is one other way. There is a cruise ship leaving in a few hours, where Kaiji can gamble to clear his debt. The ship is called Espoir, which is the French word for hope. Kaiji isn't sure about this, and asks what kind of game will be played on the ship. Rinko says that it doesn't matter, because Kaiji is a lazy bum pushing 30, with no prospects whatsoever. His life is over anyway. Kaiji starts crying, realizing this is true, but Rinko says that this is actually his chance to turn things around. Kaiji falls for it, and arrives on the ship, which is full of down-on-their-luck men like him. Meanwhile, Rinko speaks to her subordinates and says that she has fulfilled her quota of putting 10 men on the ship. On the ship, Tonagawa arrives and explains how the gambling will be done. They will be given 3 stars, worth 1,000,000 each, and since they can't purchase them, the stars will be loaned to them at an interest of 1% per minute. The men are outraged that this is just another way to put them further in debt. Tonagawa says that if they win the game, he will not only clear their debts, but also buy back the stars from them at their original rate. Tonagawa explains that they will be playing games of rock, paper, and scissors using a deck of cards against each other, and each time a person loses, they will have to give 1 star to the winner. This will continue for 30 minutes, and the person who still has at least 3 stars after they have run out of cards will have won. One man asks what will happen if they lose, and Tonagawa doesn't answer. The man says that they have a right to know, and Tonagawa angrily replies that they are scum who have lost out there in the real world, and losers have no rights. If they want to be worth anything, they need to be winners tonight. The men get riled up and start playing. Kaiji does not rush into anything. Within minutes, one man loses all of his stars, and he is taken to a mysterious dark room in the corner. A man named Funai corners Kaiji and says that there is a way to beat the system here. All they have to do is keep playing each other and keep ending in draws. They will finish their cards and still have all 3 stars. However, they have to be quick, because every minute they wait, the interest on their stars is accruing. They begin playing and drawing on purpose, but after a few games, Funai beats Kaiji. He claims he's made a mistake and says he'll let Kaiji win the next game to even things out. He takes Kaiji's star, and Kaiji asks why he's doing that. He replies it's just for show so that the guards don't get suspicious. However, in the next game, he beats Kaiji again, and his true face is revealed. He was tricking Kaiji the whole time. Now, both of them have only 1 card left, but he has 5 stars, so he's invincible, and Kaiji only has 1, so he's unsavable. Kaiji lashes out, punching Funai in the face. The guards tell him that if he does that again, he will be disqualified. As he wanders around stressing out about what to do next, Funai points out to everyone that Kaiji only has scissors left, so anyone with a rock can beat him. Kaiji in return points out that Funai only has rock left, so anyone with paper can beat him. However, now that Funai has been exposed as a trickster, no one wants to play him. Meanwhile, all the men start calling each other out for trying to peek at the other person's cards, and a fight breaks out. During the fight, Kaiji notices that his scissors card has a blood mark on it from when he punched Funai. One old man with 2 stars is beaten up by the guards for trying to flush his cards. Kaiji notices that he has a paper. Funai says that to re-establish some trust, they should reshuffle the cards and give everyone the same amount that they had before. Kaiji tells the old man that he will help him win. After the reshuffle, Kaiji notices that he again has the card with the blood mark on it. Funai offers to play him again. Kaiji says that if he plays Funai, he will do it for 3 stars. 3 of Funai's against 1 of Kaiji's and 2 of the old man's. Funai sees the blood on Kaiji's card, and knowing it's a scissor, agrees to the bet. He lays down a rock, expecting to win, but Kaiji draws a paper, beating him. Kaiji reveals that he knew a con man like Funai would give him his blood-stained scissor card again and try to beat him with a rock for extra stars and more money, so he cleaned his scissor card and added a blood stain to the paper card of the old man. He takes 3 stars, 2 for the old man and 1 for him. Funai is shocked. With 30 seconds left, Kaiji shares the old man's remaining cards and offers to draw him repeatedly to get them both out. For a minute, it seems they've done it in time, but it is revealed that the old man had a card in his pocket which he forgot about. Technically, Kaiji is free to go, but he offers to share the last card with the old man, and both of them are thrown into slave labor to pay off their debts. They work with thousands of others to build the underground Tei kingdom. Their movements are monitored 24/7. They are fitted with microchips for tracking, and they are paid in a made-up currency named Perica, which is 1/10 of a yen. Hence, the payment is not a lot. Kaiji starts saving his payments to pay off his debt faster. However, every day tempting treats like beer are brought in for the workers, which are incredibly expensive, but they are all desperate for them. One day, the old man gets injured during work, and Kaiji brings him to the hospital. However, he learns that medicines cost money too. He realizes that this is all just a way to keep them indebted forever and trapped in this underground world as slaves. Next, Kaiji learns that when a person's debt becomes too large, they are taken to a terrible place called Brave Men's Road. There, one last way to escape this life is offered in some terrible game. Tired of his situation, Kaiji volunteers for Brave Men's Road, and before leaving, he gives a speech to the rest of the men to see through this racket and find a way to escape. Kaiji, the old man, and a few others arrive, and Brave Men's Road is revealed to be a game in which they have to cross an incredibly narrow bridge between 2 incredibly tall skyscrapers, and if they succeed, they get 10 million yen to clear their debts. Tonegawa says that they never studied hard or worked hard in life, so to win this kind of amount, they have to bet their worthless lives. It is revealed that this game is being broadcast for the entertainment of elite-class guests. Rinko notices Kaiji on the screen. It is also revealed that the bridge is electrified, so they cannot crawl across. Determined to not just get himself out, but the others as well, Kaiji comes up with a technique. He draws a line in the middle of everyone's shoes and tells them to keep it aligned with the middle of the bridge for balance. Meanwhile, Tonegawa mocks Rinko because she has a lower rank in the corporation than him now. The game begins, and the men start walking the bridge. The visual of the height immediately starts getting to them. To make matters worse, a storm starts brewing in the distance, and the panicky contestants start feeling the wind before it even gets to them. One by one, they start falling. The elite audience cheers, and Rinko is sickened by it. Only Kaiji, the old man, and a man named Makoto are left alive. But it starts raining, and the old man says that he knows he'll never make it across. He's not cut out for this. He gives Kaiji his Tei voucher for 10 million and tells him to pay off his poor daughter's debts when he gets out of here. He says that he's a loser and that his life has been worthless, and Kaiji turns around to tell him that there is no such thing as a worthless life, but he has already jumped. Kaiji and Makoto make it across, but when Makoto opens the door, the difference in air pressure creates a gust of wind, which throws Makoto off the building. Tonegawa planned this. The chairman arrives and awards Tonegawa class a citizenship in his kingdom for the spectacular show he's put on. Kaiji is outraged that human deaths are entertainment for them. Kaiji demands his 20 million, but Tonegawa says that of his 10 million, 9.5 will be used to pay off his debts, and he cannot cash in the old man's voucher. Kaiji is enraged. He says that the old man is 10 times the man Tonegawa is, because in his last moments, he chose to think of someone other than himself, his daughter. The chairman is impressed with Kaiji's speech and gives him a chance to win the money from Tonegawa in a game called E-Card. The game consists of 2 decks, Emperor and Slave. Each deck has 5 cards, 4 citizens, and 1 emperor or 1 slave. Citizen beats slave, emperor beats citizen, but slave beats emperor. Since the slave deck is at a disadvantage, its winnings are 10 times more. Kaiji chooses to play with the slave deck, betting the 500,000 yen he still has. He loses the first game, but the chairman is not impressed because he did not lose enough. He gives Kaiji a second chance by loaning him 400,000 yen, but if he loses this game, he will spend the rest of his life working underground. As this game is going on, Kaiji notices that Tonegawa is not even bothering to look up and check his expression for a clue. Kaiji loses this game too. Devastated, as he is being taken back underground, Kaiji realizes that Tonegawa could see his vitals due to the microchip in his shoulder. This is how he knew when Kaiji was making a risky move. He comes up with a plan. He talks to Rinko and utilizes her hate for Tonegawa to get her to loan him 50 million yen. With this money, he asks Tonegawa for another game. The chairman is impressed by his resolve and allows it. Before the game, Kaiji busts his head open and riles himself up so that his vitals are useless to Tonegawa. Playing a non-rigged game for the first time, Tonegawa is nervous because he knows the chairman will not forgive him for losing. Kaiji's confidence makes him even more nervous. After the first 3 rounds ending in a draw, in the final round of the game, Tonegawa notices blood on Kaiji's card and thinks that he's playing the same trick he played on the ship. However, when Kaiji turns over his card, it is revealed that he did not play any trick at all this time. He simply counted on Tonegawa thinking he'd play the same trick again, because Tonegawa thinks he's smarter and superior to all the slaves, and sees through them. The chairman punishes Tonegawa for losing, and sentences him to a lifetime of work in the underground. Meanwhile, Kaiji is given 500 million yen, because he bet 50, and the winnings of the slave deck are 10 times more. Next, Kaiji and Rinko have lunch together, but during the meal, Rinko mixes something in Kaiji's beer, and when he drinks it, he is knocked out. Rinko takes almost all his money and leaves. She leaves him a letter explaining that he not only had to return her 50 million yen, but the interest on top of it as well, which she has taken, leaving him only 400,000 yen. With so much money, Rinko decides to quit Tei and disappear. She tells Kaiji that she has never met someone with his passion and spirit, and she knows he will win in life again. Finally, Kaiji leaves all the money he has to the old man's daughter, Yasuda, along with the Tei voucher for 10 million yen. As she quickly leaves to cash it in, he walks into a sea of people, looking for his next win to turn his life around. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.